Hello everyone, welcome back to the comprehensive guide to solo lane in SMITE. This time we will be talking about what I call hybrid or flexible warriors. Now, a hybrid warrior, ooh, wow, that was a lot of saliva. A hybrid warrior, or the flexible warrior, depending on how you want to term it, is a warrior that can choose to deal their damage primarily through abilities or through auto attacks. Some people will say, well, you can do both. Kind of. At the end of the day, you are going to have to make a choice, primarily in what percentage of health item you're going to be using, Heartseeker or Chin Size. You can't just build both. There are a couple of items where you can build one or the other, but at the end of the day, you do have to actually make a decision. So, what decision you make is going to depend in fairly large part on two things. One, what actual combat style are you more comfortable with? And two, what does the enemy have? For example, I can tell you right now that I'm going with the auto attack Bologna. Why? Because I can see here that they have two silences on their team, Nox and Cleodna. Now you might think to yourself, well, if Nox roots you in the silence, you're not going to be getting into auto attack range anyways. Well, she may not hit the root. Hitting the root is the harder part of that combo. But the silence, whether or not I actually stay in it long enough to take damage, the silence will still nullify my abilities. Same thing with Cleodna's Scream. So, in this particular case, this isn't even something that I will be deciding upon based on my comfort. This is just based upon the crowd control that the enemy has on offer. I already know, look, I'm going to have to auto-attack. Now, I have a couple of options for how I'm going to go about doing this. I am, in fact, going to be utilizing Death's Toll because that works extremely well with Bologna. You could go for an Animosity build here, but we have Athena, and if we didn't have a strong support, if they were a warrior support, or if they were, say, Fenrir support, as another example, I might go for Benevolence, because I would want to go for the Animosity build, but that shouldn't be necessary here. Now, I don't know who my landing opponent is, that's another key point here. I'm guessing it's Cleodna, but it could be Bastet just as easily. I'm not necessarily... It could also be either Merlin or Nox. This is probably a support Nox, so I'm actually going to bank on that a little bit here. So we are going to go with the very safe option of going towards Soul Eater. That is what we're going to do. We're going to grab our healing potions here, and then off we go. So I'm going to get my damage early on here. In this particular circumstance, because my landing opponent is very unlikely to be an auto attacker, I should be fine using Soul Eater. I'm going to be a little late to this because it took me too long to decide. Oh my goodness. That was agonizing. But I'll be able to catch up in terms of my ability to clear this quickly. So I'm not too broken up about it. And yeah, we're just in time. Uller. Alright, I've now assumed incorrectly, and I might be in trouble. Soul Eater is not... Unless I gain an early advantage over my boy here, Soul Eater is not likely... this might still work. I do have a disarm. This is going to be a gamble. But I'm going to take that gamble. I'm going to gamble that I can maintain this lead over Uller for the remainder of the laning phase. I will be splashing some ability damage in here, though, just to bolster myself up a little bit. But overall, you are not boxing me right now. Really? There we go. Yeah, you're gonna go right on ahead and slap me. You're building ability base. Oh, yes. That's so lucky. Okay. That means I can really get away with... I realized the instant he hit me with that rain of arrows that he had to be going for ability based because he had Bluestone, and you only build Bluestone on Uller when you're going ability based. Saved by the bell. Very nice. I didn't need to take that tower shot, I'll be really honest. That was a little excessive. He can take that. I'll take this one. Didn't like that much, did you? Come on, move over. There we go. Perfect. Oh, good shot, good shot. You're almost out of mana, though, and I am not. Can't believe he let me hit him like that. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna go back from my mana. We'll take this first, actually. I'm gonna take this and have to clear the wave. I'm not gonna have time to go back from my mana buff right then and there. Is he going for his? Alright, I'm gonna clear this wave as quickly as possible so that way I can buy myself some extra time here. Okay, that's all I need to do here. I'm gonna go back for my mana buff now. Alright. Now, at first, this is going to seem very samey to the last episode, where it was an ability-based warrior versus a auto-attacking warrior, but this is actually quite a bit different. You're going to start to see those differences appear as the match goes on. He hasn't got the kind of defense that I do, and he actually uses mana, unlike Cuchulainn. So he's going to be in some deep water later on in the game. So I'm going to actually be able to continuously dominate him throughout the match. And because he's a hunter, I don't even need to worry about my relative loss of team damage going with the auto attack build. He's trying to poke me out for some special reason. The question is why. That's right. Back it up, son. Gonna come back here and get this totem. Heal while I'm doing that. Very good, very good. I'm just going to take our sweet time here because the waves haven't even met yet, so it's fine. There we go. Did I accidentally dodge that? I can't tell. Alright. Hello. How you doing? This is not going to go the way you think it is. I just want you to know that. No, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you go. I don't want to chase you under the tower with Uller right there. That's not a smart move. I got too cocky last time. I'm not going to do it again. Thank you. Smacked Bastet out of this lane. That's all I needed, so I can grab this. As long as they're not coming right, I don't care. I would tell her to be careful with Bastet, but honestly, Bastet's not in a good way right now, so I don't think she's really going to care. Now notice, I'm level 7. I'm still really well off in terms of mana. This is, once again, a combination of my Death's Toll and my ability to just absolutely dominate. I wasted health potions out the wazoo, though. And does he have teleport? He does have teleport at the very least. Okay. I was really concerned that he was just going to bank on the fact that he's a hunter in the solo lane, which normally goes really well, by the way. In the early game at the very least, for the same reason. But he built ability-based, so now he hasn't got that to fall back on. Now I'm just going to come over here and clear this out. No problem. Thank you. Nice.
Thanks.
And I still haven't needed a teleport or anything. Although I really probably should. Pretty sure he's gone back at this point. I'll clear this wave and then I'll go back. This is not a back of resource necessity. He did go back. He didn't use his teleport, though, which is fairly interesting.
Does this guarantee performance?
There we go. What'd you pick up? Transcendence. Alright. We're gonna make you back off, then. We're gonna go really hard on this, so you get fewer. That doesn't really make a difference to me. I actually probably didn't need that, but okay. I got paranoid for some reason. I'll just go ahead and quietly take this out. Yeah, look at that. I did not need that health potion at all. I just accidentally used the potion instead of the... My goodness. Now, he's going to be banking on the early damage boost he's going to get from stacking that up, but little does he know, once I finish building up my protections, that's really not going to help him that much. I'm going to go over here and grab this trophy. No, I don't have time. Stop that. No, that's not going to be quite up yet. Alright. We'll go over here and take the trophy over here then. There we go. Clear the wave. Take his jungle camp there. And here we go. I think this is going to go very terribly for my boy Uller here. He just doesn't realize it yet. Alright, my next move will obviously be Berserker's Shield. Then, because of their team composition, I think Stone-Cutting Sword might be effective, but I'm not sure yet. I am not even remotely worried about best at this point, honestly. Hey, Lancelot, I actually didn't expect to see you here. Are you gonna need my help over there, or are you fine? You look like you're fine. That ult didn't take out my boy. Don't mind if I take these minions, since technically they're mine anyways. Since my teleport is up, I might as well take his tower. Come on. Nope, not quite. Okay. I actually don't need to be here much longer. I think they're going to take it out without them needing me here. I'm going to take this really quick, though. What's he got now? Transcendence looks like he's probably going for Heartseeker, which is an interesting early jump to go to be honest. Okay, you've got a catapult now, huh? Alright. That's fine. Nice. Oh, Lancelot, you gave me a heart attack, damn it. There he goes, and there this goes. Just take the... Ah, I'm dead. 2 HP on the tower. That's a shame. Oh. I'm mildly frustrated. I was so close. It was right there. Alright, so what we're going to do is finish Berserker's Shield at this point. Now I am going to want to start thinking about such delightful things as my magic protections, because I'm going to start looking to rotate at this point. We're going to grab Blink to help with this, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to need to teleport back to that lane. That catapult's going to... With that wave, is going to absolutely tear apart my tower if I don't do something about that right now. So we're gonna do something about it right now. There we go. Let's see if we can take this wave out really quick. Okay, there's my boy. What are you trying to do here? That's all I wanted to see. There we go. Alright. We own this lane. I'm going to start rotating to mid. Because I don't need to be here in this lane anymore. I just killed him with his mana buff. And, by the way, that is a support Nox. Alright. Peekaboo. Goodbye. What do you punks got, huh? There we go. Go ahead and throw down this ward here. Why the hell not, right? Now everyone's over here for some reason. Alright. What is... Is that an ADC Cleodna? Theoretically? Holy cow, you hit like a wet noodle. What the hell is this? Where'd you go? There you are. There you are. Now I just have to not die. Why does Bastet have teleport? Alright. We move on. I'm gonna take this for the healing, mostly. Excellent, excellent. This is why I love flexible warriors in the solo lane. I can choose whatever source of damage makes the most sense. I lucked out with the Uller building towards abilities. I'll be really honest. I took a gamble. I technically lost the gamble. I don't want you to have any illusions about this. I am lucky that the Uller went classic Uller and went with abilities. If he decided to go for auto attacks, I would not be doing this well. I still probably would be ahead because Bellona versus literally any hunter is a favorable matchup in favor of Bellona because she can disarm them, which is a large part of most hunters' repertoires. And he may have actually decided to go with the ability-based damage specifically because I was Bellona, which isn't necessarily itself a bad move, but that still opens the door for me to utilize builds that I wouldn't normally be able to carry off in normal circumstances. So, now you'll also notice that I'm specifically building Shogun's Kusari rather than my usual Talisman of Energy, which is what I would normally build if I were an auto-attacking warrior, right? I built Talisman of Energy with Erlong Shen last episode. The difference here is that Shogun's Kusari gives you 10% cooldown, which means my still very powerful abilities are still functionally, you know, going to be occurring quite often. There he is. There he goes. Whereas with Talisman of Energy, that wouldn't really happen. She took him out. Nice. That's a good job. I just gotta save her soul. Hi there. How you doing? Nox missed. She really needed to hit that slow. I'm gonna be really honest. Okay, you've got her. Now that your silence is down, let me slap you out. There we go. Come here. There we go. Thank you. This is fantastic. All right. I can totally tank this, my guy. There we go. Alright, perfect. I'm out of here. I gotta go back to. You can see my wave is my. Whoop. Hello. Okay. I must confess, I did not see that coming, but they have her. They don't need me here anymore. That's all set. All right. I might actually, in light of that, it might be worthwhile me going mystical mail here. Gonna go over here. No. Yes. No, that's fine. That's fine. Stone cutting sword might have actually been a smarter choice, though. We'll test it, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is the right move. Oh, that was a good play. Why you... no, I know why you have that. Never mind. That actually makes a good amount of sense. Okay, if they're not coming right, then that's all I care about.
On my way. Hey, drop it.
Oh, you gave me a heart attack again. Who are you? Oh, you're Merlin. Oh, I walked right into that. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Well, how did he survive? Oh, he must have blinked away at the last possible second. Oh, damn it. Yeah, this isn't. That's not the solution. It's stone cutting sword. Gives me that physical protection boost. Now, what I'm gonna build at this point, normally, I want. Okay, I want to be very, very clear here. Normally, I would build chin size at this point. Okay, that is standard procedure here. The problem here is that they have such a weird composition. They have a support Nox who defensively is not as strong as a Guardian. They have a solo Uller who's not building any protections at all, and so defensively is not that strong. I'm actually going to build more protections here. Very specifically, I want Mantle of Discord. Okay? I want you to understand, just to reiterate, this is very specifically because of their team comp, and this is, once again, something else that I really like about Flexible Warriors, is that I can do this and get away with it. No matter how weird the situation gets, my kit and my build can easily be adapted to fit it, no matter how bizarre it gets. And this is the true power of such warriors. Bologna is one of these. By the way, I forgot to mention last episode, but Osiris is actually an auto-attacking warrior. He's the only other one other than Erlang Shen that's strictly auto-attacking. I forgot to mention him in the last episode. I had an Osiris brain cramp, apparently. But, Gilgamesh, who is not currently selectable for some reason. I don't know if that's my game or if that's something they've done across. I'll have to ask my cousin. He'd know, because he'll not have... I've had the inability to pick certain characters at certain times. There was a while there where I couldn't pick Emoji even though everyone else could. It was very interesting. But Gilgamesh is also another flexible warrior who can build either way. He's very effective in that particular path. Oh, he's... Okay, so the Uller is just popping in and out of the jungle, just trying to passively take my my tower, it looks like. There's a Nox that I don't care to mess with right now. My teleport's up, which is good. That's a pretty healthy wave. I'm going to take this, probably the trophy, and then that's just gone. Alright, I have to go back, and then I have to teleport to my lane.
What's the return policy?
Alright. Yeah, he's got to just be popping in and out of the jungle, doing cellular things. Now that he's dead, though, I don't have to worry about that so much. I really should be upgrading my teleport sooner rather than later, but here we are. Peekaboo. Damn it. Amen. Thank you, Nuwa. Hi there. How you doing? Get her. Get her. I'm here, kind of. Thank you. Damn your silence. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna die. Hold on. We can't even take this. I'm not sure I should be tanking this. I should not be tanking this. He just saved my life, totally. That's Athena who saved my life, totally. Desperately healing. There we go. Oh, you're bold, huh? Alright. I'll stick around. I probably shouldn't, but I'll do it. Thank you for warning me. I do appreciate that, because if you hadn't warned me, I might not necessarily have noticed. No, I need the healing from this. Okay. Still is building pure damage. I'm gonna let Lancelot clear that. He's only level 19. Very nice of him. Alright. I'm gonna take the Scorpion. Because there's nothing else going on, and I want to be close enough to my lane that I can defend it if I need to, but I also want to be able to rotate to mid if I need to. Looks like we're gearing up for something. Maybe Gold Fury? I can get over there if I need to fast enough. Never mind, they surrendered. Now, I want to also point out that I was going to go for the healing Death's Toll. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I wasn't going to go for the damage one because I was clearly already doing enough damage, and I really needed more of the healing than anything else. But I want you to understand that that is, even though they surrendered, this is still an excellent episode because you can really see why flexible warriors are so effective. I could very easily have gone into Bluestone and switched, by the way, if you were curious. I could have started with Bluestone, gone auto attacks or a hybrid type thing, and then gone with the Bloodstone Bluestone, or the red Bluestone that I can't remember off the top of my head. I can never remember. Corrupted Bluestone. That's the one. I could have gone Corrupted Bluestone, which would have given me boosted attack speed, given me a little bit of damage on my abilities, and given me some increased protections. I could have gone that route as well, which also gives me the ability to maintain auto attack damage, or maintain ability-based damage if I felt like going in that direction as well. I just knew that likely, well, I accidentally was right that my laning opponent would be ability-based, and I also didn't want to be ability-based at all because of how many silences were there. And you could see, under the Phoenix, that last fight there when we were chasing Nox down, you could see why. That was a prime example. If you're unfamiliar with Nox, you could see a prime example of why I didn't want to go ability-based. I knew based on their team composition at the loading screen that there was no way I was going to be able to do an ability-based Bellona and have as much of a meaningful impact. This also allowed me to better demonstrate the real strength of auto-attacking warriors should you decide to go down that road. And really the huge disadvantage that ability-based solo laners can face if they don't budget their mana. And Ullr is not the kind of character that can even budget his mana. Look, Ullr basically has, instead of having an ultimate, he's got 2 sets of abilities. 2 sets of abilities are very expensive. Even if 2 of those 6 abilities are buffs, they're not even damaging abilities, it still is very, very expensive, mana-wise, to play Ullr. He does normally do pretty well in solo lane, but a lot of people actually don't realize Ullr plays a really mean auto-attacking game as well, especially since he gets an auto-attack speed increase when he uses the bow, and a regular lifesteal bonus when he uses the axes. A lot of people play Ullr as an ability-based hunter, and in my opinion, and I've said this for a very long time, that's wrong. He can splash in some good ability damage, but his real strength is in his auto attacks, just like with most hunters. And I think he really suffered here trying to use abilities against Bologna, because again, I was building Soul Eater, which was going to help me out against the ability-based opposition. It was going to help me sustain through that, especially when combined with the absolutely phenomenal Death Toll. Alright? The second problem they had that really helped out was their really bizarre team composition. The Bastet and the Merlin made sense. That was fine. Cleodna, Uller, and Nox all have some pretty serious issues in their roles. I've already done some conversation about Uller, where he's too mana-thirsty for the role when building him ability-based, which is what happened here. You could see that, especially in the early game, where he ran out of mana so fast, but he couldn't go back to rejuvenate that, because that would mean losing out on a lot of golden experience, like a lot of one wave. And again, I just disagree with the idea of building Uller to abilities anyways. Finally, his third mistake, I actually want to point this out really quick. He built Heartseeker as his third item. This is one of the most expensive physical damage items in the game. This should never be your third item unless you are extremely far ahead. He wasn't anywhere near being finished with this by the time I was done with Berserker's Shield. Okay? The Transcendence is fine. Transcendence is an excellent, excellent, excellent item on Uller. This is a must build anytime you play Uller anywhere, in all honesty. I'm not even joking. This is hugely important to Uller. This was fine. I disagree with Bluestone, but I understand why he built it, and he could still turn that around. What I was really hoping to see, and I didn't want to distract you from this during the episode, so I didn't talk about it during the episode, but what I was really hoping to see out of him was the surprise hybrid defense Uller, building Corrupted Bluestone Pendant, going with auto attacks with splashing and some ability damage, and going for some actual legitimate protections. He didn't do this, so I was disappointed, but I was rather hoping that that's what he would do, because Uller can pull it off if you're good enough with Uller. I'm almost good enough with Uller, I want to say. I can get it to work sometimes, I just can't get it to work consistently. And I haven't tried this year. Well, I can't say I haven't tried this year. I have tried this year, but I haven't tried since they changed how protections work a little bit. I haven't tried since that. I don't know why I said year. Probably because it felt like it was such a big update. It felt like it was a new year. Anyways, my confusion aside, I would like to see more people try that with the Uller solo, and I will actually talk about that in the future of this series. But that's a discussion for another time entirely. In the meantime, let's talk about the downfalls of Nox as a support. Now, this used to be a really big thing a bunch of years ago, 2019, 2018. Maybe a little bit earlier. I might be getting my years a little wrong here. They kind of blend together after a little while. But this used to be really big back when Lano's Mask was really big. And I believe it's Lano's Mask. The principal idea is, oh, Nox has all of these support-type secondary effects on her abilities. Her tether roots and cripples enemies. She has a silence. Her ult reduces the damage output of people who are taking that damage over time from it. Great. This all sounds incredibly support-like. The only thing that technically isn't would be her dash. Sounds very supporty. And it is. The problem here is that Nox as a character is still way too fragile. Even though she was building mostly protections, she deviated to build Chronos Pendant for some unholy reason. This should have been Breastplate of Valor, but anyways. Even building primarily protection items, you could still see her die extremely quickly. Part of this was the fact that she was very far behind, because she still can't match the defensive power of a proper Guardian support like Athena. And it comes down to the early game. Non-Guardian or non-Warrior supports really have a hard time in the early game because they can't tank as much as Guardians can, or Warriors can. Warriors and Guardians start with a higher baseline protections than any other class. Mages start with the lowest. okay? By default. Nox, and any other mage for that matter, do not generally have the kinds of baseline protections to tank when they need to in the early game. So this tends to mean that a mage support tumbles early on in the game. Whereas an early game death for a solo laner isn't a big deal because you can teleport right back to lane. Not only do supports not typically pick up teleport for the extremely good reason that they need to be building support relics, but they also tend to already be attempting to only really grab golden experience from assists via Sentinel's gift. Very often that's the case, as it was here. So that death, those early deaths for Nox were crippling. This is why Nox is only level 14. Okay? That is the problem there. It has nothing to do with her kit. Her kit, yes, on paper, her kit can do support type things. Absolutely true. But her numerical stats do not allow her to fulfill the support role in the early game as well as she needs to in order to actually protect her ADC. She was also crippled, by the way, by the fact that her ADC wasn't even an ADC. It was Cleodna. Why is this a problem? Think of it this way. Izanami, good auto attacks, nice high auto attack speed, has range. Alright? Cleodna, her abilities have a pretty good reach, yes. But her abilities cost mana. Izanami is clearing the wave for absolutely free using her auto attacks. Cleodna is spending mana to achieve not even the same effect because she doesn't have that great of a wave clear. Okay? And once she's used her abilities to clear the wave, she hasn't got anything left to poke Izanami. Izanami doesn't have to use any abilities at all to either poke Cleodna or clear the wave. So Izanami, from a purely resource standpoint at this point already, has a huge advantage. Add in the fact that Izanami is healing back everything from Death's Toll, which is just absolutely fantastic, and is really layering on the damage, especially able to heal back a lot of damage with Asi, and Cleodna went for Transcendence, which in itself normally isn't a bad thing. Normally Cleodna plays really well with this, but when you're the ADC role and you're already starting on the back foot due to resource requirements, yes, Transcendence will resolve a lot of those resource requirements, but it takes so damn long to build this that by the time this is evolved, Izanami's already going to be ahead by a strong enough margin where that now no longer matters. It's the same case with Uller. It's the same mistake. Same damn mistake. And then she doubled down with Evolved Soul Eater. It's like, come on. This would have been an okay stacking item to start with. If she'd gone with Soul Eater first instead of Transcendence, she still could have probably put up a pretty good fight in the early game versus Izanami. But no, she went for Transcendence first, and I understand that she went for Transcendence, both for the damage and because she probably recognized that there was going to be a resource problem and figured Transcendence would help. And yes, I am sure that Transcendence absolutely did leaps and just absolutely amazing things for her resources, for her mana. But it took too long. And by that point, it was too late, in all honesty, and there just wasn't anything she was going to be able to do to come back from that. It's unfortunately just how it goes. Alright, there are characters that can play out of role. The next couple of episodes, I will be talking about out of role solos. I'll be doing assassins in the solo lane. I'll be doing hunters in the solo lane. How it's really done. Uller did not do it right. No offense to the player. It's a common misconception. Very common. Okay? Uller can play very well in the solo lane. Do not misunderstand me. But it requires a specific mindset. It requires caution. It requires a somewhat specific build. Okay? I will tackle that. But these are all the mistakes that they made here. And I just wanted you to be aware of them. I know this is a series about the solo lane, but these particular choices on the enemy team did affect my choices as a solo laner, so I wanted to talk about them. With that being said, thank you all very much for joining me. If you liked this, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, please ignore me. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, suggestions, requests, please leave them down in the comment section below. And thank you all very much for joining me, and have a great 24 hours.